Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Adult Game Reviews. It really felt nostalgic for me to jump back into Bear Witness by Alter Worlds. Bear Witness was one of the first reviews I did on my channel. It was also one of the most controversial because I thought Bear Witness had a lot of problems. Well, Bear Witness is complete, and you can play it on Windows, Mac, and Linux. I also bought it on Steam. So did the game improve, or am I just going to get flamed again for disliking a game that many people like? Hopefully this isn't Lust Academy all over again. So before I get too many comments, just because I like or dislike a game doesn't mean you have to agree. There are all sorts of games I like that get bad reviews and games I really don't like that are popular. My job is to point out the positives and negatives so you guys can figure out if it's something that you will like. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe if you aren't. Okay, so I thought I would do something different with this review. I'm gonna go through my criticisms from the previous review and let's see if anything has changed. To do that, I'm gonna bring back my old categories. I originally stopped using the formal categories because people would click off pretty quickly into the video, so let me know if I was correct to not do this anymore. FYI, if you haven't played Bear Witness, you may want to just jump to the end to see my conclusions. I can get pretty detailed in what I'm discussing, so if you don't care about how an individual character path is broken, just jump to the end. The timestamps are on the video. So for everyone that doesn't know, you play a college student who is in art school for graphic design. Also, you're in the witness protection program after you witness a crime. You need to rebuild your life and maybe get a girlfriend or two along the way. Let's kick it off with the renders. I gave Bear Witness a 10 out of 10 for renders a couple of years ago, and in that time with games like Summer's Gone, Summer Heat, BEST that just look amazing, you can tell how the wow factor the first time I played Bear Witness has gone down a bit. I mean, Chapter 1 was released in April of 2021, so it makes sense that over 3 years it doesn't look as good, but in comparison to the average VN, the game still looks great. My biggest criticism is with the character models. Not all of them. I mean, Athena is so pretty, but okay, let's just talk about Mora. Mora is a character I actually like, but you have Mara and Maddie who are better looking redheads. I guess I was not sure why they used Mora's character model for a main love interest and had a lot of the side characters looking better, again, in my opinion. Now, I did get a comment from someone randomly that really liked that the girls looked average and weren't all models. So let me know if you like this as well, but for me, I didn't really get it. Okay, let's go to sound, and damn. This area was kind of a mess. I know Alter Worlds lost a lot of the music, and in some ways this was a blessing, and others it really, really hurt. Ah! 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 I would say on average, the music isn't great. Very repetitive, and in most cases the music doesn't really fit the scene. I did notice the music got better on the individual girls' paths instead of the group paths. I will talk more about the paths in later section, but if anything, I feel like the music got worse, which is unfortunate. Okay, on to the story. The story made me cry, made me laugh. Mostly at things that weren't funny, made me say, what? Multiple times. Like, who is Becky? I really want to know, and why did she randomly show up? Becky.
Who?
Suffice it to say, the inclusion of 11-ish endings made the game better. There's Heidi, Athena, and Mora ending, or Ham ending, which was my personal favorite of the group endings. The story felt the most concise in the group endings, but you also get the least amount of info about each girl. So these group paths just kind of turn into constant spicy scenes with not a whole lot of emotional investment with the love interests. I was kind of disappointed by this personally. I play VNs for the story and the group endings felt the least satisfying. It really seems like the girls are just there to serve the MC. None of them really felt like fleshed out people with the group path. The individual endings were much better in my opinion. You get to know the girls more, but the game wants you to be in a relationship with more than one love interest at a time. The game also wants you to make hard decisions in breaking up with many of the girls. I still haven't decided if I like this or it's lazy. Maybe a bit of both? So I do think the story got better, but not every path is better. I mentioned in the previous review that the relationship pathing was broken, and this did improve, but I still found instances where things didn't make sense. You may consider this a minor spoiler, so just skip a few seconds ahead if you care. I was playing through the Zenda path, and as part of the normal story, Heidi and Athena ask you to dance and play games. This happens in every playthrough anyway. Even though I was on the Zenda path, I thought, why not? No harm in dancing in video games with friends. However, I turned down Heidi and Athena for anything more spicy. All of a sudden, Athena was saying she loved me, and without any choice, I responded, I love her too. I was so confused. I had to break up with a girl I was never actually in a relationship with.
It's literally my worst nightmare.
So while the pathing was better in some ways, it wasn't completely fixed, which was a shame. Another previous criticism was that Bear Witness didn't have much character development and the plot was lacking. Do I think this is still the case? Well, yes and no. The plot is incredibly simple. The entire story could be summed up in one of the 5 chapters. Now, the endings did a good job of changing how the story ended, but that means you have 4 chapters of minimal plot, and each love interest path really different in how much character development you got. So because of the endings, it did get better, but not by as much as I would have liked. like. So the last criticism I'm going to address is the choices. You end up on paths accidentally, which removes some of the feeling of that choice.
We going in deep, y'all.
Brace yourself, because here it comes.
As an example, at the beginning of the game, Zenda invites you on a date with her. This is normal part of the story. Then Heidi and Athena invite you to stay with them and watch a movie. This means you have to cancel on Zenda, or basically cancel on Heidi and Athena. If you cancel on Zenda, her path is done. If you cancel on Heidi and Athena, you miss some content with them. I just don't really like this. It would be easy to tell Heidi and Athena that, hey, let's watch a movie tomorrow. Instead, you have to save scumbag through the paths to choose the route you actually want. I think I said it best in my first review that in BAD, for instance, you know which path you're on ahead of time, so you can make a choice intentionally rather than accidentally. That is not really the case with Bear Witness. Now, I personally don't mind going back, but it just makes it messy. Most of you guys may not care about this, so let me know down below if you do.
You're still here?
Okay, so for everyone and also the people that skipped ahead, what do I think of Bear Witness now that it's finished? It is better in some ways than when I first reviewed it. The endings are a nice touch. They really make it feel like playing through all 11 and a half endings are worth it. However, not all the endings are satisfying. Like I said, I thought the Sham ending was happy, I guess, but again, not very satisfying. The Zenda ending and the Val endings could be emotional, with my favorite girl still being Athena, even though I thought her ending was just fine. So I gave Bear Witness a C in my previous tier list, and now I would bump it up to low or middle B. So it's definitely improved, but there are still problems. As per usual, I want to thank Alter Worlds for actually finishing a VN. This should be celebrated. I want to thank my backers, and if you haven't seen my review of Love Season 1 and 2, you can check it out right here. Thanks again. Until next time.